So the reason that it's called the DX version is because it's the deluxe version. DX stands for deluxe. As a result, it has some extra content in it that the Dreamcast version didn't. Like, it has a minigame collection. So, it basically is a Game Gear game collection, which is awesome. Although I still find it really insulting that they call it minigames. Dolby Pro Logic? What is that? I mean, I understand stereo, mono, and surround, but... And this is the sound test. You don't have to unlock it like in some of the previous Sonic games. It's there right from the start. And one of the things that annoys me about this game is it has emblems that you can collect in the adventure field. And I specifically followed a guide to try to find all of them, but it still says that I missed one. I don't get that.
Select a game. Select a stage.
So one of the things that I love about this game is that there's a trial mode. So there is still a stage select where you can conveniently select any level you want from anywhere you want. So it's not like you're forced to go through the hub world anytime you want to replay a level, which is fantastic. And what's even better, aside from this embarrassing death, is that you can play as Metal Sonic once you unlock all the emblems. Or you can be smart and use a code so that you can have Metal Sonic unlocked without having to get all of the emblems. Seriously, fucking all of the emblems. It's so annoying trying to get all the emblems for, like, the tornado section. We have to rack up a whole bunch of points. But yeah, I love playing as Metal Sonic in this game. I always choose him over Sonic any day. I love his animations, like how he hovers, and his hover actually has an impact on gameplay because he transitions very smoothly left to right and right to left when he's hovering back and forth. So his controls feel slightly more smooth than Sonic's, so I prefer playing as him. Like, you run for long enough and then you switch to a hovering mode. Oddly enough, Metal Sonic can still drown, despite being a robot. I guess because he's based on Sonic, so he runs off oxygen. Also, the trial mode calls Tails Miles. I mean, it is an early game, so I guess they're still getting used to just calling him Tails and that's it. Miles Prower is still his actual name though. But yeah, Metal Sonic can save the animals and stuff. So now I'm going to be showing off Mission Mode, which is one of the most well-known bonus content that the DX version added, and it's pretty infamous. I'm not going to be showing off all the missions because that would waste your time. I'm mainly just going to be showing off the most infamous ones and a few extra ones here and there. There's actually a way to glitch Amy into Casinopolis in the Japanese version. In front of the burger shop there is a mannequin, and you have to take that in front of the casino button. And then you jump onto it at full speed and do your hammer jump to hit the casino button. Yeah, it's kind of weird that you can enter Ice Cap without even climbing up the ladder all the way. You can just fly into it. That's the ice tunnel that I missed. And this right here is the worst mission in the entire game. They expect you to collect 13 of these things. How are you supposed to be precise with controls like this? Where you have to very carefully, specifically tap left and right in order to hit the flags and avoid getting past them. I'm not even going to try to beat that mission because that mission is just complete bullshit. Especially because you're expected to win the race with Sonic. So, if you miss a flag and then you awkwardly turn around and jump up the hill to get a flag that you missed, Sonic's probably gonna win the race while you're doing that, so you can't afford to miss even one flag. Pretty much gotta do it all in one go. Like, did they really think that this was a good idea? A lot of people complain about how the DX version didn't do nearly enough to improve Sonic Adventure. And I wholeheartedly agree with that, because this is what they wasted their development time on? Mission mode? Is this really what people wanted? I mean, I'm sure we would have preferred having Big's gameplay improved, or having Amy be given the speed upgrade that she was supposed to have, or have her be there from the beginning. But no, instead we get a crappy mission mode where you do a whole bunch of different missions. And you need to complete all of the missions to unlock all of the Game Gear games. So even if you get all of the emblems, you still have to get all of the missions done in order to unlock stuff like Sonic Blast and the Tails games. There's a whole bunch of different missions, and most of them are pretty simple. I hate that enemy. And part of it is because it feels like randomly you'll get hurt when you're trying to use it as a homing attack chain enemy. Enemies like that should not be used as homing attack chains when you can get hurt by homing attacking into it. One of my problems with the missions is that sometimes you pretty much need to look up a guide to figure out what it's telling you to do. Like, how am I supposed to know what that means? You pretty much need a guide sometimes to figure out where the missions want you to go and what you want to do. And I hated that mission. The one in Lost World where you're expected to... It just sucks screwing up a scripted sequence and missing the spring there, because you already collected that trail of rings, so now it's impossible for you to... Now you pretty much have to restart all over again. And here's where I show off the best glitches in the game. That's right, I got Knuckles into Emerald Coast. And even though the title card says to find emeralds, you don't actually have to find any emeralds at all. I mean, you can clearly see there's no radar or anything. So this is pretty cool. You can take advantage of the fact that you can clip through parts of the adventure field to get into levels with characters that aren't supposed to be going into them. Although, I don't really see the point of glitching characters in places they're not supposed to go, because, well, you're not supposed to go there. So, unless you're playing as Tails, who is arguably better to play as than Sonic, usually playing as a character in a level he's not meant to be in is going to be a really awkward experience because the level's not properly designed for him. Especially if, like, a very extreme example is Big the Cat. Like, good luck playing Speed Highway as Big the Cat. Also, I love the fact that you can climb on that wall back there, even though you're as Knuckles, and you're not supposed to be in that level at all. They just programmed that wall to be climbable. So I guess I have to specifically program a wall to not let you climb into it. It took me so many failed attempts for me to finally get this glitch right. Eggman actually said that line that I talked about. Like, Tails, wait for me! Remember the black Chow egg from the egg carrier? Well, if you drop it into one of the holes in the hedgehog hammer room, it'll actually multiply. And then you can do it again, and the third egg will be in the center of the monorail button room. So it took me a lot of failed attempts, but I finally managed to get here. I was following a video guide step by step to get over here. As you can see, you're in Act 2 of Speed Highway. Unfortunately, only Sonic is programmed to wall run, so the rest of the characters just fall. Unfortunately, if you start flying, well, now you're falling a lot slower than normal. And whenever you go through Act 2 of Speed Highway with the wrong character, the music stops long before it's supposed to, because, well, you're in the area longer than you're supposed to. So you just spend forever. I mean, at least it's actually possible to collect all the ring boxes, but the camera's kind of messed up, and eventually it just gets to a point where it's just complete silence, because you're expected to have completed the level long before the music would end. But yeah, I was so proud of myself when I finally got this glitch right. You have no idea how hard it was. Because the buildings in Speed Highway aren't actually solid a lot of the time, so you can just fly right through them, and that's how I was able to get here. But because of that poster blocking the way, it was kind of hard for me to see where I was supposed to land to get to Act 2 in the first place. So Tails is kind of awkward in Act 2, but in Act 3, he's really fun. I always have a lot of fun playing as Tails in Sonic's levels, because you can just fly all over the place, take all sorts of shortcuts. If you restart, then you'll get rid of the race meter. But I had 0 lives at that point because I had failed at the glitch so many times. So I wasn't able to restart and show off that if you do that, you get rid of the race meter, and so you can actually beat the level without the game saying you lost. This is another pretty difficult glitch. It's because of this glitch that I discovered that you can actually lose lives in the hub world. Like, if you glitch through the scenery in the hub world, then you lose a life. That's ironically one of the things that Sonic 06 fixed. If you die in the hub world in 06, you don't lose a life. But I was so proud of myself when I finally got this glitch to work. I love playing as Tails in levels that he's not supposed to be in. Because most of the time it's really satisfying, just flying so fast and so far and taking all sorts of shortcuts. You can also get into Casinopolis as Gamma. In the train station, jump and hover on the middle of the middle train and keep walking on top of it until you go into wheel mode. Move over to the left train, jump and hover towards the tunnel, and you should be standing on the roof. Now you just hover over to the Casinopolis door button and hit it. And to get into the actual level, you have to move over to the right train and jump, and then you can make your way to Casinopolis that way. And once you're actually in Casinopolis as Gamma, you can get stuck in the pinball machine teleporter, but eventually you really sucked in. And the funny thing is that normally when you go into the pinball machine in Casinopolis, it's actually your character that's the ball. But only Sonic and Tails are programmed to be the ball in the pinball machine. So when you enter the pinball machine as the wrong character, you actually walk around inside the pinball machine, and you can walk your character into the plunger between the two flippers. But yeah, I showed off all the glitches that I wanted to. So stay tuned for the next part. It's going to be a pretty cool one.